Well, I'm finally back on the 1000 ZXL. Now, where we last left off, is no bias to the recording head. Finally, just simply get around to replacing all of the orange caps. It's come to the time where I've sort of had enough of them and it's about time to replace them all. I've got the caps and it may save a lot of heartache in the future. That was a good idea at the time to not worry about it, but I think the time has come. When working with the front panel, I did change all the ones I felt necessary, and the mechanism I fixed up, got that all working nice and smoothly. So and the audio path now is mostly there from the input to the output, so yeah, I think it's time to change all the orange caps. There's a couple here on this board, the third board, whatever that is. But I'll get to it. Well, the very first orange cap I take out and measure, it's a short 1.7 ohms for this little capacitor. Oh well, I'll carry on. Well, I finally finished changing all the orange caps. It took me most of the day, actually. Just about had enough for today. But here's the inventory. I'll count up how many I changed today. 36, 37. I changed 37 today. So as well as the ones that have been faulty before, which has been a few, I've had 9, 10, 11 go short circuit. So what's had 11 out of 37, a third of them. Plus there's also a number that have gone high, so 7. Right, I've changed 37 today. 11 of them were short circuit and 7 were high, so 18 out of 37, which is close enough to half, were faulty. That's not good odds, is it? Anyway, they're finally done now, finally. It took quite a while, which is probably why I never wanted to do this earlier, but it's good that it's done now, and who knows, it may even help. What I'm going to do now is just have a quick look at the circuit diagrams and see if I can see if any of these faulty caps might have caused the problems I'm looking at. There was a heap of them around the bias oscillator that were faulty, but yeah, but it was working. Anyway, we'll see. Okay, of the 11 capacitors that were faulty, a couple were in CPU B, and I suspect it's something to do with some sort of feedback or EQ feedback. The main bottom board was 4 capacitors which were faulty, and mainly to do with a multiplex filter and perhaps microphone filter, something along those lines. The third board, the recording Dolby board, 2 capacitors were faulty, and I think they would probably cause a level change or something. They were both, I think, near the Dolby chip, so not sure if it would have affected levels as such, but it might have. On the fourth one, the playback Dolby board, I found 2 that were faulty, and I can only suspect that they just changed the response slightly with less or more bass. Probably the biggest change was in the CPU A board, which is the bottom one on the top, and I had pretty much 4 capacitors that were no good, and I think they're all in the what I surmised to be an oscillator of various guises. So that could well be why maybe the CPU board wouldn't work. Not that I've really tried to find out if it is or isn't, but that would certainly cause a problem. Definitely so. With a bit of luck, maybe some things might come together when I turn it on, which will probably be tomorrow. Of the capacitors I replaced, I did make one mistake. I mean, I only replaced them singly or in pairs to make absolutely sure that on my little list that I didn't miss anything. And I didn't, except I did make one little mistake, is that I accidentally swapped, accidentally swapped two capacitors in the middle of this bottom board and the two capacitors that are down in here. But I soon found my mistake, and but anyway, it turns out that these large capacitors need to go into those two spots there and there, and they don't really fit. So what I've done is put some long legs on them, and we'll put them in. So here we go. There's one that's in. They're standing up quite high, of course, but that's how it has to be, I'm afraid. Yeah, so there they are in place. They're sitting quite high, but I can still get to the slots on the coils if I need to. I probably won't, but so I'll solder them in, and voila, all done. It's been a while since I've turned this on, so let's hope it's all good. I've changed all the orange caps, and let's see what happens. Might as well get straight into it.